Well, hi folks. How's everybody this evening? Lonely Prepper, good evening. Good to see you in here.
Funny, it says 0 watching.
I don't know about that.
It's weird.
Maybe he has his eyes closed.
No, it could be.
So, yeah, it is on. Is there anybody else hiding in the room out here? I suppose we'll give the people just a couple minutes here.
There's 3 of them hiding in the background there.
Uh-oh. Actually had a couple questions this week.
From Gary?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are being quiet. So, everybody having a good week? Are you staying dry wherever you're at? Country Homestead Preacher, good evening. Good to see you. So.
Well, I chatted with Rick Pickerick this morning, because that is where the kids are going. And he said it was raining there, had been for the last 2 days, but it's 70 degrees. So, hopefully, it'll dry out by the time they get down there.
Yeah, maybe. So, anyway, I did have a couple questions this week. And if you saw the thumbnail, I'm going to talk about a little thing that they call Ripple in their software. No, that's there's a wine named that, but
that's why I said it was a drink.
And I suppose if you work too long on these videos, you maybe could use some of that. I don't know.
We have some Manischewitz I found in the cupboard.
You did.
I unearthed it. You
unearthed it?
Not as old as my mother's, but...
Brenda, good evening.
Well, it stormed in Mississippi last night. Yeah, we had Sherry from 70 Farm
70
last
Farms
night, and they
on.
had tornado warnings.
Yeah, while she was on the live stream,
their phone went off.
Their alarm system went nuts.
Yep.
So, I guess I didn't think to try to get a hold of her today.
No, everything's fine.
Okay. Yeah, try to get a hold of her.
Yeah.
So. Hi, Carrie. Okay, the first thing I wanted to talk about, we had a question about that they could not upload a video that was over 15 minutes long.
You can offer them some Israeli chocolate.
I've just been handed a butter biscuit. It's milk chocolate with butter biscuit.
Brenda just tried to buy Filmora and it won't let her.
It won't let you. I don't know why that would be. But I'll put this up to the screen here.
It's just blurry. It's too tiny to put up there.
But that's some Israeli milk chocolate. So anyway, the question was, geez, I can't, how do I get my videos under 15 minutes and I can't upload it if it's over 15 minutes? And that has nothing to do with Filmora. That is not a Filmora limitation. That is not any editor limitation. That is a YouTube limitation for a while. There's a couple things you have to do to get past that. And let me throw this on the screen and see if this... okay, if you just do a real quick search and do the search, says 15-minute limit on YouTube videos.
Was that Terry's question?
Yes.
She just walked in.
Okay. All right.
He's talking about you, Terry.
By default, YouTube allows video uploads that are up to 15 minutes long. If you try to upload videos longer than 15 minutes, the upload will fail. There's some things you have to do to enable yourself to do longer videos. It's not hard. We'll just go into this one here. By default, you can upload videos that are up to 15 minutes long. To upload longer videos, you have to follow the steps below to verify your Google account. If you have live streaming access, long uploads are enabled by default. So if you're able to do a live stream, you are able to upload longer than a 15-minute video. But this is just in the YouTube help area. Let me pull that down.
So does that mean you have to have so many subscribers? Is that what one of those subscriber-based things?
No, your account just has to be verified. I'm not sure what the what all the little nuances are, but this is the YouTube help area. And a couple things have to happen. You have to be verified. And you have to go in and make the change. From the YouTube homepage, click on your channel's icon and the settings, the cog icon.
She has a verified account and over 300 subs.
I have no idea about numbers, but have you enabled the ability to upload longer videos? That's the whole question. Now, Filmora, in an effort to help people, the default settings are out of the box. When if you try to upload a video directly to YouTube, I do not recommend that, but if you do that, you'll get a little window pops up and it says stop your videos over 15 minutes if your video is over 15 minutes. Now you can just click through that screen. There's even a little checkbox in that says don't show this again. But what it's trying to do is it's trying to help you. And I've said all along, the Filmora program is as user friendly as I think they can really make it. They try to help in a lot of different ways, and some of those actually maybe hurt a little bit, but it's a default setting on there. Until you click the checkbox and said don't show this anymore, that little window's going to pop up. Number one, if you're trying to upload to YouTube directly from the program. And like I said, that's something that I don't recommend. Let's see if this answer helps anymore, or maybe has some pictures. Sometimes I think that the YouTube help areas are a little bit cryptic. Okay, you have to go to YouTube Verify, follow the steps to verify your Google account. You can choose to receive a verification code through a text message on a mobile phone or an automated voice call. Once you've verified your account, you can upload videos that are longer than 15 minutes. Make sure you're using an up-to-date version of your browser to upload files greater than 20 gig. Now, I have a maximum upload size too, and that's 128 gig or 12-hour movie. So, Can't find the increase limit link.
So how do you recommend I save it to the computer?
Oh, I recommend you just, if you're running a Windows computer, I would just save it to the computer into the video area. And I would then, after it was all finished, I would then go in and double click on that by itself outside of the editor and make sure it looks the way you want it to look, especially getting started. Make sure that yep, this is ready to present. I didn't forget anything, everything's in the right place. And at that point, when you're in when you're in YouTube, let's see if I can see which monitor's coming up on here. Okay, once you're in YouTube and you're signed in with your browser, and it doesn't matter which browser you're using, if you're using Chrome or if you're using Firefox or Safari or Edge, once you're signed into YouTube with your browser, there's this little camera with a plus on it right here in the upper right hand corner. Hope you can see these circles going around. Just click on that and go upload video. Yeah, when it says upload video, I suggest that you first make it either unlisted or private to start with. And I just always make it private to start with. So I make it private, and then you select that file. Simply click on this, and you get a window comes up, and you can go out and grab whatever file you want to grab and send it off, and it will then upload. When it completes its upload, it will automatically grab 3 different frames out of that video, and it will try to make a thumbnail for you. So it'll give you 3 to choose from. It will pick one, and then it'll give you two more to choose from if you don't like the one it picked. Or of course you can upload your own. And with Filmora, it's real easy to make thumbnails. After you have your video uploaded, you have it set up the way you want. You have your title made, you have your description made, you have your tags added to the video. If you're going to put it in a playlist, you can do that. What else? There's share links in there, isn't that right? Share usually does that part. I just get it ready and then I say, okay, it's up there. So once at that point, that's when you can click on it and publish the video from up there. Filmora will do it, but here's what can happen with Filmora or any program, any editing program that you're working with to create your videos for YouTube. The first thing it has to do is it has to render the video. It has to process it. It has to turn it into an MP4 file. At least I hope you're making them MP4s. So it has to render that first. So it does all that. And then after it does that, then it in turn uploads to your channel. Now you have your choice in Filmora. You have your choice in other editing programs where you can upload it either private or public and so forth. So you can still do the same thing and have it private. But in order to start that entire process of rendering the video, and then when it's done, then it's taking a complete file and uploading it. If you have an internet glitch and it loses connectivity to YouTube, it will fail. And you have to start all over again. So that's why I recommend just creating the video locally to your hard drive. So you have it. You have it in hand, and take it, and at that point, just upload that to YouTube through your browser. I think that's the safest, easiest way to do it. Do I have any other questions? Come in? Okay. All right. I'm going to close that up. I'm going to close this up. And I have Filmora opened here. And I have something else opened.
That's a public picture. Why do you have that out?
That's just the beginning of the file you gave me. I cut those out. What you're looking at here, this is Power Director. And I know that we primarily talk about Filmora, but I want to show you a couple quick differences between Power Director, which I consider to be a little more advanced than Filmora. And let me do this, because I have a lot of little promo clips in here from our live shows. We're just going to grab a few of those and bring them in. Okay. So, what I have here is just consider this to be a representation of files you've accumulated on either your camera phone or other camera, maybe pictures, however you want to do it. As soon as you put these onto the timeline, if you drag it down to the timeline, they snap over to the left. You can't stop that. Filmora does not allow you to have a space between the beginning of the video and your first piece of data. And it continues that way. If I bring another one down to pull in here, it snaps to the first one. Does not leave a space. Now that's a good thing in a lot of ways, but it can also sometimes drive you nuts. Now here's how some other programs do it. Let me get a few That's too many. Let's try. That. Okay. So in this program, am I buffering? What's going on here? I can't tell.
What? I'm sorry.
Am I buffering?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Because it is on this one over here. when you bring a film clip into this program, it stays wherever you place it. If I want to move it over here, I've got all this bare space. Well, Filmora doesn't allow you to have bare space. Now I can take this clip and put it in front of this other one by sliding it over on top and kind of shove it all the way to the left and let go of it. It will actually, well, it bounced back. But I can put something in front over here and it will shove these things over, but it always keeps a very, very tight line. Other programs don't do that. Not all programs do that. Now, the good thing about that is you can do some creative lining up here, but you always have to remember to fill the gap here at the beginning. It's an extra step. Now, in Power Director, for example, I can click in front of this. You notice I put a gray line in. If I do a right click, I can say remove and move all timeline clips after the remove gap. I want you to notice the verbiage on that. It says move all timeline clips after the removed gap. So this gap, I'm going to click outside of it here, currently stops right here. Now, because this clip that I have on the line underneath is actually in front of that, it won't affect it at all. That one is going to stay exactly where it is. So I'll click this and I'll say remove and move all timeline clips after the remove gap. And it did. There we go. So at that point, they are all lined up. Until you change it. In Filmora, if I bring a clip down into the picture-on-picture track, it'll stay where I put it. It doesn't fill that in because it's saying, oh, you want this as a picture-in-picture, and you want it to come into place in whatever area you place it. But on its primary timeline, you do not have the option to have a space, which, until you're real familiar with editing, that can throw people. So I think it's a good feature, but that brings up to what we call this ripple program, or ripple effect. Right over here on the left-hand side, on the far left, I think you can see where the mouse is. There's a couple little chain links. If they're lined up right on top of each other, it says that the auto ripple is on. If you click it, they go slightly offset, just a little. And if you hover over it, it will say the auto ripple is off. So let's turn it back on here. And what this does, with the ripple turned on, is let's say I want to edit a piece out of this clip up here at the top. I've got this pretty much where I want it, but I want to cut some time out of here. So I'm going to slice it, and I'm going to go to right here, and I'm going to slice it again, and I don't want this piece in here. So I'll just delete it. Now if you noticed, it kept everything tight on this line, but it also moved this clip underneath. So it's still in exactly the same position. Well, let me back up And I'm going to take the cuts clear out. So we're right back to where we started. And again, just so I can show everybody, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to cut some time out of this clip. I'm going to turn this auto ripple off. Now when I delete this, did you notice that this clip underneath did not move? I just lost whatever setting I had. If I had it set to a specific area on this upper line, I lost it. Of course, I haven't lost it completely because I can just go back a step. But I have this is currently set so that, let me, okay, so in this picture-in-picture track, this picture-in-picture, this is this clip here on the bottom. That's exactly what that is. And I have it set to where, well, I think you can see where it is on the movie. So I'm going to take this out. The ripple is turned off. And we'll move the timeline marker back. And you can see it's no longer in the same location. Back up a step again. Turn the auto ripple back on. Now when I delete this, it stayed in exactly the same location as it was before. Pretty neat.
What? Brenda, what the heck did you get into?
Oh.
Really?
I don't know about that. Now, this works not only with clips, it will work with titles, anything else you have down here, except there is a big exception here. Music does not work for music. Let me back this back up again. And let's just grab a piece of music. And I'm going to have it lined up with the start of this clip that's underneath.
No copyright claim on your Christmas music.
Who did?
You did.
I did?
Just got a letter.
Oh, this will be fun.
Yeah, I just happened to go into it.
Yeah, that'll be a good one to appeal. Because it's all YouTube music. Or from TubeBuddy, Audio Hero.
Mm-hmm. Copyright, Happy New Year, Old Lang Syne piano. Mm-hmm. Claimed by something digital. Yeah, well, you can check it later.
All right. So anyway, where was I? Okay. I have this music lined up to start right here, but I'm going to cut this piece out. I have the auto ripple turned on, so this clip is going to move. Unfortunately, you notice the music did not. The auto ripple has no effect whatsoever on the music lines. So how do you get around this little issue? It's not that tough to do. wherever you want to have this music lined up, you have it starting at a given spot. And I'm going to make that spot over here somewhere. I'm working up here on this line. I'm going to take this piece of the file out, but I need to mark this where the music starts in reference to the piece on the timeline. So if I just come down here and click on the music, it will move the timeline marker right to the beginning of it. As long as you're working to the right side of it, well, no. As long as you're working on a clip that is outside the one that the timeline marker is on, the timeline marker will move to the beginning of that piece. If I want to go to this clip, it'll move to there. If I want to go to this clip, it will move to there. So you come down and just click on your music. That gives you an exact marking up here in the timeline where you have painstakingly edited to get your music to start just exactly at the right time. So we have it all set. Just cut it. And at that point, you have now put a marker in here that if we come up here and we delete this, music didn't move, but that marker is still there. So we can just take the music and slide it up until the lines match right there. And we're right back lined up. Okay, it's an extra step with the music, but it's not hard to keep it lined up. And if you find yourself getting into a situation where you're forgetting or something like that, the undo button is wonderful. I put the clip back in. Well, it's doing a step at a time here. Undo. Undo. There we go. Now we put the clip back in. Let's move this back. This is right back where it's supposed to be. And we've now taken that out. So does that make sense to everybody out there, how that works? I believe, who was it that asked that? It was David here, wasn't it?
Yes.
Is he in here?
No.
Okay.
If he has anything.
Okay. Well, David dear, that's for you. This is the easiest way that I know to explain it to you to get your editing into where you want it. And as I mentioned, this doesn't apply to, the only thing that this ripple effect does not work on is music track. If you did a voiceover, I believe that works. If you separate, I'm going to find out here real quick because I probably should ask here, make sure. Yes. Everything except for the music tracks. So if you did a voiceover, it would be right in here, and it also would move. Now, if you find yourself working on this and you're expecting for it to move and it didn't move, well, you need to make sure that this little deal right here is turned on. Auto ripple turned on.
Now see, this isn't. Why is it scroll? It's buffering on that screen. It's not on any of the others. That's strange.
That's the only place I have YouTube opened on this computer.
Huh.
Is right over there, and
that's wild.
With everything else running, it's just
So far, no other questions.
Gosh, early class tonight. I don't know if this will pick it back up or not.
I don't think that did it.
Okay. At least I got my chat back. Don't know if it's up to date, but I got the chat back. So, did anybody have anything else that they're working on that they were having issues with, or something you want me to go through? Did everybody get to hear some of the Christmas music I played today? I know Gris did, and I think Brenda was in there for a little bit.
Yes, I saw Brenda over there.
And that's this one's going to be fun. I get to argue hard with YouTube on this because that was all YouTube music, and they already sent me a copyright strike. And Gris wants me to get a hold of JD and have him do something like that. Man, I don't know, copyright stuff. Jeez.
Yeah, that's the only thing that bothers me about that. Yeah, Terry was in there also. And so did Carrie. We got our diehard followers. It's like a cult.
So when do you think I should start playing Christmas music? I was doing it as a test today.
According to Amy Fuel, now's the time.
Now's the time?
Yeah. As soon as you put away the Halloween stuff, she has Christmas stuff out already. So
all right, we can do that.
According to Amy, this is it. Google like the fireplace. How did you do that, Pip? With fuzzy edge like Cher's cooking video.
Okay.
Googler says not till after Thanksgiving. Googler, I could care less if it comes on at all, but you know, my choices of Hanukkah music is like 3 songs. Did they pick up the one that you were selling, Brenda? Boy, when you put that picture up on Facebook, you could have had that thing sold 10 times over. That was beautiful.
Okay. Within Filmora, you're not going to be able to do a fuzzy edge. You can do any of these patterns. And I'll just grab this one.
Did you do a fuzzy edge?
I did.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, good. Glad to hear it, Brenda. Well, cool, Carrie. We have decorations downstairs in a room that just strictly has holiday stuff, and out in a... It's not a shed, so to speak. I call it the bomb shelter. That we've never opened. Those like real huge Christmas bulbs. Christmas bulbs for trees.
About 6-inch bulbs.
No, these are the big ones, the big silver ones that you put on the outside, the trees outside.
They're about 6 inches. They're not that big.
Oh, yeah, they are. Okay, that's you get to go out tomorrow and measure them. Okay, folks, who's going to win? Let's put a bet on it.
So when you put your mask on here,
oh, cool.
Of course, you can adjust the width.
Gris has the tree that's going to Washington.
Adjust the height.
From up the road from him. That's
move
cool.
it around. Whatever you need to do. There is. I mean, you can make it a little bit fuzzy if you want to get into the blending mode. Leave it at normal and just drop the opacity of what you have, and that will make it not as defined around the edges. And there's a lot of other fun things you can do in here. But there is no setting within Filmora on their masks to give them a soft edge. You could, what you can do, a lot more work than what it's worth, is you could duplicate that 3, 4, 5 times, make it just a little bit different size every time, and by messing with the opacity, you can actually develop a soft edge type picture. If you want to do that, you would have a lot of time in that.
Terry's asking if I make a frame in my Photoscape program, can I use that as a frame in my video?
Yes and no. You can use that as a frame in your video by bringing in a picture. Let me go back to the media here. Let me import something. I don't know that I have any frames per se, but I might have something here. All right, this is kind of a frame, and this is also a PNG file, so I'm pretty sure that this is transparent. You can't, that's the other thing, you have to have a transparent file. So let me choose that one. And I'm going to bring this down as a picture-in-picture. That should move my timeline clip over as soon as it catches up. And it just so happens this particular picture is not transparent. You cannot see through it. But because it's black and white, or a very distinct color, we have another thing we can do with that, editing the photo. We'll go into advanced editing, we'll go into effect, and we'll do the chroma key, and we'll pick white and say okay. And now I have a frame around my video. Or if you just want to do a piece of it, you could resize this to have it highlight something on the wall.
What camera is working? What camera do you have working?
Well, right now I have this one working, but it's way too small a picture. So, hold on.
Brenda knows what it is.
Here, bring it back.
No, I got it.
I have it changed now.
That's too bad.
Now everybody can see you putting food on my head.
I'm going to put it in my mouth now.
All right. So did that answer your question about making a frame? And
yes, Brenda knows.
Pinebrook says that everybody wants a piece with some butter. What are you eating?
The Googler made bread, not this.
Oh.
Nate did a 3-hour live stream making bread.
Okay. What else did you want to talk about? Did you see how nice and easy that was to do? Even though the picture wasn't the way I thought it was, it didn't have a transparency. I used the chroma key green screen to make that work. And by the same token, I can go the other way with it. You go back into advanced, into effect, and now I'm going to make the black transparent. So we have the white here. So, okay. So now I have a piece that I could block something out on the wall if I wanted to hide something. And I can resize this to whatever size I want to make it. So if you wanted to definitely hide something in a video, you didn't want to see something up on a wall, or I can think of lots of reasons why you may want to obscure something in the background you didn't know was there when you took the video. This would be one way you could do it. You can reshape this in a multitude of different ways. Where else do we want to go with anything here tonight?
We're talking about Amish donuts now.
What do they have to do with editing?
Nothing. It's just...
Okay.
Brenda says she has an Amish friend who makes the best donuts. I told her we have an Amish bakery close to us that makes donuts the size of a dinner plate, aren't they? They're literally huge.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Okay. Brenda, the only thing wrong with this is one bite and you've had enough. This is like a sugar overdose.
Well, now you got people out here that are going to start breaking their diet because you brought all this food out here.
Terry says, when doing a video, can a picture be put in the corner of the video like that frame thing?
Yes. Yes, it can. And again, just to illustrate that, let me get this back out of here. Let me bring a picture in of some sort. Here, we'll bring this guy in. And we'll put him in the picture-in-picture area here.
I used to work with that guy.
And when you have it highlighted, that's when you can resize it, place it wherever you like. And if you wanted it to, I'm going to say kind of blend in maybe a little better, let's go back to our green screen, come over here, click on the white. Now I could change the intensity. It's probably too small for you folks to see, but if it doesn't quite get rid of enough for you, you can change that intensity and make that work. So now, you have him right up here on the screen. I'm assuming that's what you want to know. And you can layer this. You can go another 3, 4, or 5 layers deep. What you need to remember is the further down you go, they appear to be on top of the items above. So this one is on top of the main timeline. The first picture-in-picture line, second picture-in-picture line. Now, here's something else you can do. Let's, since we've come this far down this path, we'll open up a new project. When you start bringing your clips in, you don't have to put them on the primary timeline. You can start them on the picture-in-picture timeline, and that means it does not automatically snap all the way to the end. So I can just have picture-in-picture type things here. The thing you got to remember is you got to fill this in with something. You don't want that to be dead space at the beginning of the movie. Could just start out with color over here. Could start out with a lot of their openers have a background when you drop those in right at the very beginning. Not only did it put in the text, it put in the background for that text. So it's almost like it's a two-piece. Let me increase the time on that a little bit. Go back into advanced. And I want those to be a little bit bolder. And I'd say placement is pretty good right there. And now we want to change this wording. So let's I'm just going to highlight it here. And we'll go
what are you designing your movie with software called?
This is Filmora. Yeah, this is Filmora. You don't have to worry a lot about the font size because you can shrink it down by just shrinking your box down. Make it fit in the box where you want it. You can test view it how it looks right here before you save it.
Can that yellow background color be changed?
Yes.
It is a tad bright on the eyes, isn't it, Terry?
In most cases. So let's do this.
Hey, as long as you learn a few, Angela, that works.
You can't change everyone that they have like this, but if I come down here to the text box only, I'm going to pull it aside. If you notice, I moved the text clear over here. Now, what I can't change is I can't change this 3-color deal in here. If I go back in and guess it's still up.
I agree with you, Terry. That yellow is heck on the eyes.
There's no place for me to change this piece right here. There's nothing configurable.
But at least you got rid of that yellow background.
I got rid of the yellow background.
God, yeah.
Now I can remove that. I can remove those 3 triangle or quad hexagram things or whatever they are. They're I don't know what they are.
Like,
yeah, like what?
Badly made rectangles.
It's about as close as a triangle.
I guess.
So I can remove that completely.
Just that middle part can stay.
And I can do that by this. This title thing is done in 3 sections. So there is 2 lines of text plus this is almost like an MP4 type thing. It's not, but it's similar to. So I can highlight that and I can delete it. And I've now gotten rid of that background without changing the style or size of the text. Now, because that's not where I wanted to go with this, but I did want you to see it, I'm going to hit cancel. No, I don't want to save the changes. So it should be back. It is. You want to get rid of the yellow. If I would have left the text box underneath this yellow and deleted the yellow, it would have deleted my text. So I moved the text box out of the way. Now I'll delete the yellow. And I can take the text box and I can put it, I'm going to put it under the red. Like,
oh, yeah, it's not as, yeah, that's nice.
So now, and we've just changed it from yellow to red. Or I can make it blue, or I can make it...
Terry even liked that one.
A whole lot of other colors. So let's, and again, just to show a couple other things you can do here. Let's go back into the media area. We have a red background there. We're going to go into blue. I didn't like the bright yellow, so we'll go into a purple and a green. That's probably not in any particular order of the rainbow, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different colors there. Each of those are 5 seconds, so that's a 20-second piece of mixed colors. And we'll put the text to fit in the center 2. Now I know by default those are each 5 seconds. So if I have the text highlighted, I can go in to this little clock and click it. And I can change this either by highlighting and typing or highlighting and using the little arrows here. And I'm going to make it 10 seconds. So it covers the center 2 images. So now we'll go back to the beginning and we'll play this. It should change to purple. And then when it changes to green, the center should go away. If you don't want an abrupt color change between these colors, that's why you can use your transitions. So we'll put these in here. And I do almost all of my transformations as an overlap. I don't do it completely on one side or the other of the split. I do them as an overlap. So now, when we play this, see, it just kind of more smoothly goes into the next colors. And that does it with what they call a fade. If I did it with dissolve, with the transitions, if you drop a different one on top of, it just replaces it. The dissolve won't fade to dark and come back. This will just mix the two colors together, and it just kind of transforms. It never went completely dark. Or if you really want to make it,
If I design something in Filmora, can I save it in Filmora?
can you save it in Filmora?
Yes.
No, you can't save anything at all in Filmora. You can save a file outside of Filmora. You can modify a text within Filmora.
Sounds going wonky.
It sounds going wonky.
Two folks did it already.
How's it going wonky to me? See if I can hear it.
What could you use your another nickel in? Sounds like it's skipping.
Okay, is that any better? Hopefully. Hopefully that sounds better. So let me throw a couple different
Yeah, that's better.
transitions in here. So there'll be a different transition between each color at this point. And we'll play that.
Doesn't Vicky's mom live outside of Houston?
Oh, I don't know where it is.
Or Dallas, or not Dallas, it's Houston, I think.
So if you wanted to create I'm going to use the term stinger or a small intro, you could do that with like this little piece right here and just export it as an MP4 file, put it in an area on your computer where, make a little folder called intros or something, and then you could take that and add it to a piece, your next movie clip that you want to edit, or something along that line. As far as just saving it within the program, no, you can't do that. You can, because we modified this this particular text file, titling file, I can save it as a preset. And if I do that, so it wants me to name it, I'm going to say sample 1. And I'll say OK. So now, if we go into text and credits, under custom, here is sample 1. And if you notice, it no longer has that bright yellow background like the default had. All it saved was this piece right here. Take that out. Come up here and grab this pre-made one. And now this time, I'm going to stretch it out. I'm going to make it go across all 4 colors, not just the center 2. So I can stretch it out. I can go up and change the time with the little clock here to set the duration. And then it should fold back up. So, any other questions? Carrie can be in London. I thought she lived. I didn't know she was in England.
I'm fairly certain it's London, Texas, dear. Hi.
Okay. Any more? I don't see any more questions.
Nope.
I see that I'm ready to turn into a pumpkin.
Terry said, not the moment. I'm sure I'll have more soon, though.
Oh, and that's fine.
Terry, and you sending me those messages, that works out great. Because that way he can check it out in the afternoon or the day before or whatever, and he's all ready to talk about it. So that worked out perfectly today. See, she's only 20 minutes from Rome.
From Rome?
Yeah, yeah. That's
Italy?
Very good, Daryl. I'm impressed.
I must not have skipped that day in school.
You didn't skip that day in school. Oh, there's also Paris. France, yeah. You only know that because Heather went there. So did I. I was there.
Not me.
No, God forbid you leave the continental United States.
I've been to Canada.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I've been to Canada.
Over to the casino. Oh, and then when we went more into
the company I worked for had a company up there, so yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice hotel we stayed at that night on their dime.
You mean where we were stuck on the bridge? They wouldn't let us in, wouldn't let us back, and
yeah, customs. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked in the IT department for a company, and I was taking some computer equipment up to our plant in Canada, across the border. Well, when you're working for these companies, you expect that the shipping guy or somebody has everything correct for you. So you just simply drive up and tell them who you are, where you're going, and how long you're going to be there, and what you're doing, and all the many things they ask you.
You didn't have all the paperwork for the computer stuff is what it was.
He didn't have the proper paperwork for the computer. We were good, but I couldn't leave a $12,000 server in the back of a car, so Anyway, they wound up paying for a night at a pretty
high dollar fancy schmancy
pretty
hotel.
high dollar hotel.
Wow.
In Detroit.
Right across from Greektown, wasn't it Greektown?
Yeah, it was very close
casino?
to Greektown Casino, but
so
they took the car.
They paid for the room, and no, they didn't.
Well, they wanted to take the car.
I was going to say we drove back to the hotel.
No, I meant at the casino, or not the casino, but at the hotel. Didn't they park the car?
No, we parked it. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We drove down those back alleys and
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, parking was worse than the hotel.
Yeah, probably would have felt better. I think it was $50 to park the car in the hotel thing.
Company paid for it. Who cares?
So anyway,
paid for dinner.
Yeah, we went ahead and
lived it up.
And went into the casino since we were right there, and the company didn't want to pay for that. They probably would have shared if I'd have won, but. All right. If nobody else has anything here right now, I think we're going to let you go.
Yep.
We're going to probably do another test. I'm going to see if I can get the YouTube monkeys after me again with their own music.
Our guest Monday will be
Cooking with CJ.
Cooking with CJ. Just went right over my head.
So, everybody have a wonderful week, and I'm sure that we will see you
online
somewhere.
One way or another.
See you somewhere here online. If you got any questions, send us an email. I'm not going to say that I'm going to be doing the music every day now, but we'll probably run it a few more hours tonight and just kind of burn things in and make sure everything's working right.
Who won the cookbook? It was
Broussard?
Broussard Homestead.
Broussard?
In fact, they were in here earlier.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Broussard Homestead.
Okay.
Brenda, do you do much shopping online? Plus, Terry in
oh, I know what I didn't do.
November 26th, in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks is Timber Creek Farm, which is Janet Garman, and Brenda I think met her in Virginia. Really nice lady. She has 3 books out. We'll be giving away 3 books that night.
Homestead has t-shirts?
So, Brenda, if you do shopping online,
with me on them.
if you don't have
And they start at just
I can send you a link.
delivered to your door.
I do shopping online, and I go through
They have
EBOOKS
some long
first,
sleeves.
and
Those
they
are
send
a
me
lot
a
more.
check, or they put a check in my
But
PayPal.
just send an email
every
to
quarter.
TwoFamilyHomestead@gmail.com. Tell them what size you need, and they'll get right back to you with what colors are available in your size.
There we go again.
Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Oh, yeah, don't forget, they make great Christmas presents. Bye-bye.
He's on the 10 Most Wanted. I'll send it to you over on Facebook, Brenda.
Well, hey, folks. While that's cooking, I had to sneak in here and just tell you, if you've never had Thrive Life, just hop on over to thrivelife.com/TwoFamilyHomestead
Terry, it's,
and get you some.
Timber...
It's doggone good. Plus, it helps the channel. Thanks.
Timber Creek Farm.
So there, we got our commercials in.
Got your commercials in. Okay.
Now,
well, everyone.
Part of the fee for attending the class here is everybody has to buy 6 shirts.
Run!
Okay, everybody have a great week, and we will
catch you later.
Yeah, we'll see you next Monday night, if not before.
Yep. Bye.
Take care. Good night, everybody. And a special thank you to the moderators. You can still hear me. Good night, everyone.